Alright, just like in the mini lesson, we're going to talk about population distribution in Canada. But first, before we start reading or go further, we have to know what population distribution is. Can somebody tell me what that is by raising a hand? Tough.
Where people live.
Where people live. Alright, I'll tell you, you want to add to it?
And why they choose to live in that place?
Alright, yeah, we'll get to that. Anybody else want to add anything to it? Alright, Tough basically got it. Where people live. Basically based on population. Do a lot of people live in this area, or a lot of people live in that area. Alright, that is population distribution. Alright, we're going to look at some different factors, or some different things that play factors in where people choose to live and why. Alright? In your social studies workbook on page 31, I want you all to read with your group. One person can read a paragraph, the next person read the next paragraph. Alright, but I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 minutes, alright, to read that, and then we're going to go over what you have read.
Make a good living. About 75% of Canadians live in cities and towns of southern Canada.
In the Western Pacific Mountain region, the climate varies from snow and ice in the mountains to mild rainy weather along the coast. It's warm enough to live crops on the western plains, where you can find rolling plains.
In the Western Pacific Mountain region, the climate varies from snow and ice in the mountains to mild, rainy weather along the coast. It's warm enough to grow crops on the western plains, where you'll find rolling plains.
The Great Lakes, same marshland, the solar does not give populations of the same for many millions of people living in the coordination temperature like Montreal, Fisher,
Alright, anybody still reading? Alright, now let's go through what we just read. Alright, let's look for key words. Alright, we're looking for things that affect where people will live or why they will live in these certain areas. Alright, can you give me one of those things? Climate. Alright, that's one of our key words. It's also highlighted. Alright, climate. Give me one, Kelly. Alright, fertile land.
natural resources.
Alright, natural resources. Andrew. Cities and towns. Alright. That's a big one. Alright, anybody else want to add something to it? Alright. Those are very important when it comes to where people will live and why. Alright. We talked about climate before. We talked about how due to their location to the equator. Alright, the further away from the equator, the what? The colder. The closer, the what?
The hotter.
Alright, hotter or warmer. Alright, now you want to think about those things. Alright, the colder away. If I'm a farmer, alright, would I want to live in those cold places that's further away from the equator? Why not? Right, I can't grow much in the cold. Alright, so I would want to live in those warmer areas. Alright, that's how climate affects. Alright, plus also just lifestyle. Alright, if I like to be on the beach and go to those warm places, alright, I would want to live in a warm place. Alright, now climate kind of plays in the fertile land. Alright, the closer you are to the equator or southern Canada, alright, the more fertile land it is. Alright, let's look at natural resources. Alright, it talks about what is one of the most densely populated places in Canada.
Southern
Montreal.
Alright, southern Canada. What's in southern Canada? It was in your reading. It's in that third paragraph.
Great Lakes.
I heard somebody say the great what?
Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. Alright? It also talks about fishermen. Alright, think about all the natural resources or the fish or the jobs that are available during around the Great Lakes. Alright, that fits in with the natural resources. It also says that there are a lot of cities and towns around the Great Lakes. Alright, people like to live in those big cities and towns. Alright, for jobs, that's good. Alright, the bigger the city or the more populated it is, alright, the more jobs are available. I think about your own personal life. Alright, how many of you have moved to an area because your parents maybe got a different job or got hired at a different place? Alright, that affects where you will live, where people will live, and why. You want to live in places where you can support your family. Alright, that's just like when you get older, when you go to school, go to college, when you graduate. You don't want to move to a place where you can't get a job. That means you can't support your own lifestyle of living if you have a family. Alright, so that also plays a very important role. Now, the atlases that you have on your desk, alright, they should be open to a Canada where it has multiple maps. Alright, one of them is a population density map. Alright, then another one is an environments map. Alright, the environment map, it shows the different areas of Canada. Alright, whether they're cropland or grassland or swamp area. Alright, I want you to compare those two maps. Alright, and see, come up with some different things. Alright, basically comparing those two maps. Alright, I want you to share it with your group, talk about it, and then we'll discuss it with the class.
A lot of people go to unbanned areas. That's like Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa.
It's the least population.
Since over 250. It's the least.
So I mean, like, the population is the one in the middle.
It's a couple of and Grayson with like Edmonton and Calgary, Toronto.
But the most is that
And
the reason why Yellowknife, Edmonton, and Calgary are not that populated because they don't have that much farmland or woodland.
Well, actually, Calgary does, but Yellowknife really does.
Yeah. Yellowknife and right next to them.
Alright, walking around, I'm hearing some very good conversation. Alright, would anybody like to share with some of the things that they came up with? Alright, this table here.
Forest is almost everywhere in Canada.
Alright. You're right. The forest area. Alright, anything else? Right.
Montreal and Toronto are deeply populated.
Alright, Montreal and Toronto. I mean, we talked about those big cities, and Montreal and Toronto are some of the biggest cities, most densely populated city. Alright, also let's look at the location of Montreal and Toronto. What are they close to? What physical feature are they close to?
The
Great Lakes. All right. Remember again, we talked about fishing is one of the biggest. One of the biggest jobs or resources that they have. All right, now tell you this table.
Yellowknife has the least population.
Which one?
Yellowknife.
Yellowknife. All right. Why do you think it's one of the least populated places?
Because it's forest. It has a lot of forests.
It has a lot of forests. All right. And also, what part of Canada is it in?
Northern.
It's in the northern part, and we talked about northern Canada being what? Cold area. All right, everybody say, y'all want to add anything to it?
At Calgary, there's only little
There's only a little cropland. All right. Are there a lot of people that stay in that area?
Yeah.
All right. There are there. It's not one of the most populated places, but there are a few people that live in that area. All right, so that's good. Those are very good things that you all have come up with by looking at that map.